My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than a live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunt Hangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunt Hangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunt Hangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunt Hangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself. So be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. And by the way, you only can make your comments or questions known during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunt Hangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, contest coverage videos that Sparky does on this platform enjoyable and fun and informative, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Subscribe, share, comments. It helps the Stunt Hangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunt Hangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account each and every month, and I don't miss it. And I suspect you won't miss it either. Plus, you'll be supporting hopefully it's your passion, like I feel. I love this hobby. And I hope you feel the same way and want to partner up with us and support it, make it happen. Now, when you join, you're actually helping Sparky with some of the expenses of running Stunt Hangar and paying me as well. And so your support is appreciated. And with your memberships, you get access to member-only videos. Not all the videos are for public. Some of them are earmarked private. Some are earmarked members only. I know he has a Al Raby video up there, and I know there's a couple of the Stunt Hangar videos that are up there as members only, and some of his own building videos. He has a couple that are earmarked that are for members only. So you're getting something in return for your support. Now, if you want to reach me, if you have a comment or question you want toward me, the best way to do that would be to go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. I'm going to repeat that. Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you go there, please locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. And I tell you, that was a bucket list day for me to be at the Nats and be having a beautiful plane as well. So it was a great opportunity. And that video was only after like 3 or 4 patterns on that plane. So I took very good care of his plane, kept it out of harm's way. But check it out, like, share, subscribe there too. I'd appreciate that. And I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do on your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post the link at Stunt Hangar Forum. Let me get to that right now. Just bear with me here. I got a few things I got to do. Let me get this going here. And all right, the link is posted. It's called Stunt Hangar Video Hangout, Friday, 12/22. and post. All right, so go ahead and hit refresh on your computer if you've been waiting there for me. And let me take care of this. And let's see here. Let me do that. All right, great. Just give me a second here. I got a couple things I want to do. There we go. And let me do that. Now I make my way over to what I call the control panel. And let me do that right now. Let's see here. Let me get rid of a few of the tabs. All right, great. Let me making my way to the control panel. There we go. Hope everybody had a good week. Hey, all right, you got a hat on too. Fantastic. And just give me a second, Denny. I'm still doing a few of the things I do every time we set up a show. Be right with you momentarily. And let me just do this real quick. Looks like there are some people in the chat box already. That's great. Fantastic. And then we have Denny here in the gallery. And great. That's awesome. Let me see here. Set that up. All right, great. So let me get with the chat box real quick. Marcel Legrand says, hi, Charles, and everyone at Stunt School. Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy New Year. Before I forget, I spoke to Bart Kopinski earlier, and he said, Merry Christmas, everybody. And I also spoke to Bob Gore. I think he also has the same sentiment, Merry Christmas. And Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, yo. And then Dennis Adamison, who's a member of our YouTube channel. I want to give you a shout out, Dennis. Appreciate your support. He provides with a like. Thank you, Dennis. And Terry Forbes says, Merry Christmas, modelers. Terry in the Pirates, South Florida, checking in. 67 Fahrenheit here. Got the window open, sanding away on my hydro. All right. Well, thanks, Terry, for coming in. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. Terry, take it easy. And then Leonard Burrell says, like provided, be in soon. Thank you, Lynn. And then Terry Forbes says, hey, Marcel. Great. So how you doing, Dennis? Yeah, my undivided attention now.
Real good. How about you, Charles?
Good. It's been a pretty good week. I went out and flew a couple times.
Okay.
Not to rub it in. I know that your weather's
Yeah. All right.
But I set the timer down to just 2 minutes and just continue to work on reverse wingovers. And I think next
How's
time
the
I
prop
go
working out for you? You happy with the thrust you're getting and all that?
Yeah. It's it's but I couldn't tell the difference. I mean, once I slow down the motor RPM and all that, it's just like before. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's pretty comfortable.
I'm hoping that it does result in a lower battery usage that we're trying to get to. But
I suspect it is. It's not going to be dramatic, but I think it's going to be a little bit less.
Well, if it's a little less, if it was 5 or 10% less, you might be out of your. It would take you a little closer, or you wouldn't be quite as close to the edge, I guess. So
yeah, I might just break down and change the flight time and just put up a pattern with it and see. I probably will do everything up until the 4-leaf clover just to make sure I have enough, and then see how many laps I have, and then a second time do the full thing. That's probably what I'm going to do, just to be on the safe side.
Well, I turned you on the YouTube channel first, and I realized that I hadn't got the memo on that that we were going to have a uniform tonight. So
yeah,
there we go. Looks like Howard didn't get the memo either. So
no,
I've got the hats, but they're out.
That's it. You don't even wait for Christmas for those hats, do you? But,
no,
or at least for some of those hats. So.
Well, welcome, Howard. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
It's nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Well, I miss your COVID haircut or lack of haircut. But
yeah,
you look sharp. You look like you're taking care of yourself.
Good. That's something I try to appear.
Yeah, well, you did a good job.
Thank
I
you.
just remember how you had long hair during COVID. Remember that? Remember that, Dennis? You forgot about that?
Not so much. Everybody looked a little funky during COVID. So, well, some of us look funky before and after, so it doesn't really matter. But
I think you and I had the same hairstyle.
Just about, yeah. Not quite the same as yours, but yeah. I got ever since I got my own clippers, and I did my own haircuts there a couple of times, and my wife was generous enough that she does it now and whatever.
All right.
Tried to introduce the grandkids to haircuts. They take one look and they run. So what the hell?
Mhm.
Yeah, Muffy Rudner was cutting Chuck's hair and found out how easy it was to do. So I think she's still doing it.
Ah,
All right.
terrific.
All
Terrific.
right. All
Is
right.
that his wife or his
Enough about
daughter?
haircuts. Let's
That's his wife.
His wife. Okay. Yeah.
get back on Molly airplanes. It's my fault. I
Well,
brought it up.
hey, well, no. The
I
Rudner
thought
family
her wife-
has been, they've been mainstays of the combat event for 30, 40 years. Howard, I mean, like since they were like in their late high schools or something
oh,
like that.
yeah, long time.
Yeah.
In
I
fact,
remember them around the Midwest area in contests before they went on to bigger and better things and uh, went to school and whatever. And they're out there. Are they all out by you now?
Chuck lives in Orange County, California, and his brother still lives in Michigan. He's an architect.
Oh, really? Okay, I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
realize that.
flown in a while.
Okay.
Steve and Mark uh, lives in Seattle, and we went flying a couple days ago.
Okay, great.
All right.
Found a place where you can make noise.
Hmm, that's it. Yeah, the closest I've come to flying, Charles, is that today we gave a phone call to my wife's aunt who lives in Escondido.
All right.
So, so I was with you in spirit, I guess, but that was about it. So
Well, is she pretty mobile or
yeah, she's 93, I think now. And
well, tell her
she's still doing okay. She's still moving
every
around. She's still
Friday,
sharp. Yeah.
some guys and myself are out there flying at Kid Carson Park.
Kit Carson Park.
Kit
Okay.
Carson, yeah, KIT Carson Park, and we're
Okay.
near the tennis courts in the softball
Hmm.
area.
Or what time you normally there? 9 o'clock?
9-ish. Yeah,
Okay.
she gets there around 10. We'll be flying by then.
Yeah. And then
There's a little
till like
setup.
noon or so, between like 9 and noon, or
Yeah,
give or take.
yeah, yeah. That's about right.
Mention it to her.
Yeah, she might get a
So,
kick out of it. She's, oh, that's what you're talking about, Dennis. Oh,
hmm. So at any rate, I can report back. She'll give me some intel on how you're flying and stuff like that. Eh,
great. Yeah, I can give her
nice
that.
guy, flies pretty good, but he's too high in the bottoms. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I can give her the critique sheet. The critique sheet.
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
have her draw on it. What'd you see? All right, it's right off.
Yeah. I understand that that's the way Steve Harris's wife actually got involved with helping him.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, and in fact, I think you were telling me that basically she was looking at the tricks and saying, that doesn't look like this picture or something like
Right.
that. So,
Yeah, she was actually. He gave her the rule book.
uh,
She had the rule book, and she was just commenting. That's not what the rule book
that's not what you
says.
get. Yeah. But you get the
Doesn't look like
critique
that.
sheets and somebody's moderately observant. I think you could make some pretty good progress on that.
Mm-hmm.
What the
Mm-hmm.
heck? So,
Yeah, I hope to continue to start videotaping some more flights. So I really want to.
mhm.
That's gonna be my coaching tool. Is gonna be just watching video. But right now, I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again. You know, I mean, I had set for 2 minutes, so my guess is I did about 160 different reverse wing overs.
Mhm.
This week.
Your lines get wound up.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah,
do.
do inside loops to get out of it.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I just thought that the reverse wing over would nullify any twist. I thought it would be
Nope.
twist one way, then it unwrap the other. I was surprised. I thought, why have so many twists?
No.
Oh, are you doing a complete reverse wing over, or are
Yeah.
you doing just the outside part?
No,
A
a
lot of people
complete.
do just the outside part, and then they'll screw themselves right into the ground doing that. But
Yeah, I do the both the complete maneuver.
okay,
Yeah, and I'm hoping I can get to the point where there's a scoreboard I fly on this softball diamond. There's no pitcher's mount, And so I can actually practice takeoffs, and the landings I don't think give me much help, as I'm pretty much whipping the plane over the grass and then
And
I make it land on the infield. But the
and
takeoffs,
does your score appear on the board? That's pretty cool.
wow, that would be
There we
neat.
go.
Boy, if I had someone who had the keys to that thing and they could just actually record a score, wow. But my plan is to, which hasn't worked yet. The scoreboard must be about at least 10 feet, 12, 20 feet, or whatever. I'm trying to come down and see the scoreboard and then notice that 6 feet is a little bit below that. But not really. When I come down, I'm either coming down to the left of it or the right of it, not quite, because the wind shifts. But my goal is to get to the point where I can see the scoreboard and then see how much lower the fence is, and then hopefully improve and get that muscle memory. That's my.
Well, yeah, but I think as soon as you fly someplace that doesn't have a scoreboard, you're going to be lost.
But I'm
So,
hoping that the muscle memory will. No,
yeah,
that's where I'm supposed to be at. I'm hoping.
yeah.
I don't know what it's
You know,
going to
you could
take.
go someplace else. You'll be watching for the scoreboard, and there's no scoreboard there, and then you could have a very unhappy
Yeah,
ending.
yeah,
Yes.
that happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But matter of fact, I experienced it. I went when I was flying at the sports arena parking lot. I had no references, and I was like really disoriented the first several flights out there, because I did not, because I rely on that fence for my for level flight and for the bottoms. And without that fence, the fence has at 6 feet, it has a corrugated yellow material, and for the outfield. So I've been relying on that, and so it is a kind of a problem. Yeah, I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to definitely keep trying.
Well, get used to flying at shoulder level, and if you can get used to where that shoulder level is, you'll know if you hit your corner or not. So
You can make you a thing with PVC.
you can do
I've done.
that too.
Is that what you have there at your field, Howard?
No, I had it when I flew down at the airport long ago.
Mhm.
I've got a fence at Circle One that's I know the height of the bottom.
Lynn Burrell has joined us. Hey, Lynn, thanks for coming in.
Yes. Glad to be here, Charles. Thank
Yeah,
you.
my pleasure.
Nice hat.
Thank you
Nice
very
hat,
much.
you and Denny. Yeah.
Well, what I was saying, I was watching him on the YouTube on his intro and stuff like that, and I realized I was underdressed for the occasion, so ran off and found a hat. So
Very good. I want to ask you, Howard. I want to ask Jim Hoffman too. Your your um your stand that you put your plane on when you do
Yeah,
work on it and stuff.
yeah.
Can you actually run the motor with that and adjust your RPM and without any fear or trepidation about
No,
falling
no,
over?
there would be fear and trepidation.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
There would be both fear and trepidation.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I was out there at the flying circle by myself, and the way my KR governs on the bottom of the plane, so to adjust the plus you want to see the blinking lights and all that, it's really problematic for me to hold the plane and adjust the speed of the RPM. And I was thinking, man, how does these other guys do that? They have to do that. And I remember seeing your stand, and I've seen Jim Hoffman's stand. I didn't know if they could run their motor in that.
There's one hand on the airplane, one on the tack, and then the other, and then
Oh,
and then
man.
your third hand on the on the adjuster. So you just wrestle it all together. So
Yeah,
Not a chance.
I just make a change and go fly and see how fast it goes.
you can do that too. When you get close with, did you say KR?
Yeah, I'm a
Charles?
KR governor.
Well, it's like 60 or 70 RPM per click. So if you're a little slow or a little fast, you can use that as a guide. 1, 2, 3 clicks. 3 clicks would be a lot, to move, but that will definitely be enough to move the meter on you to know if you've gone enough or too far. So
Yeah, well, when I first started, I had to come down from 9,300. I think I ended up settling at around 85, 70, I think. So I had to come down quite a bit. And my first time I had my daughter hold the plane. I didn't have anybody with me, so I called my wife and said, "Can you help me?" She goes, "What?" And I told her, and she was like, "Oh man." So my daughter came, and my daughter held the plane for me.
Okay.
So that's how I got it in the ballpark. But yeah, I was just wondering how people do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Lynn, what you been up to, Lynn? You been doing any flying or anything? Or
Just
building?
building. I won't fly another airplane now till May. It's the way it
Okay.
works here. There's
Well,
no airplanes going out of the hangar. They're all inside, tucked cozily under their sheets.
Very
So yeah,
cool. Very cool.
flying starts in May. So yeah, I'm building hard. I got the new 75 plane. I got the wing finished. I've got the tails all finished. I'm ready to start building the fuselage the day after Christmas. So that's the plan.
Okay.
Very
So
good.
I've got two airplanes with the wings and tails all finished. I just have to build two fuselages and then start putting them together. So hopefully by the end of January, or soon after that, I'll have two airplanes in one piece.
Very,
Like
very
each in
good.
one piece.
Just make sure you don't
So
mix the fuselages up and you'll be good to go. So
putting a nobler fuselage on a 75 powered wing and tails is a bad situation.
yeah, and vice versa isn't a happy
Yeah,
place
that's for
either.
sure.
So yeah.
Not good.
So
No, not good. No, we'll get them right. So
yeah,
far,
yeah.
so good. Things are coming
Yeah.
together good.
Well, that's good.
The new big plane, the wing and the tails with the flaps and all the control horns were at 19 ounces.
Okay.
Oh, very good.
So that's not too bad.
Yeah, it sounds like
I'm
a lot
sort
of
of adding it
airplane
up
for that
and
weight. So yeah.
yeah, it's 700 square inch wing, so it's a big airplane.
Just curious, do you get the same weights for the Nobler?
Oh no, the
Uh,
Noblers,
the wing and the tail and stuff for the Nobler?
yeah, I got the wing. I can get that weight. Hang on. I think it's around 12, but let me check. Hang on.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
come right back. Okay.
Hey, Gary, thank you for coming in. How you doing, Gary?
Oh, I'm making it.
You making it? All right.
Yeah.
Very good. And Stuart, thank you for coming in. Stuart, how you doing?
All right, good. How's
You look,
everybody?
you know what? You look kind of comfortable. So I guess your shop is really beginning to shape up, huh?
Oh, it's starting slowly. Yeah, it's coming along. So kinda, well, I hope by another week or so too, I'll be ready. Go at it. So
Very good. So no flying, just working in your shop. What do you got there,
yeah,
Gary? What are you showing me,
actually,
Gary?
Yeah.
there's a chance I might go out on Sunday. I don't know. I'll see.
Oh, you got some for oh man, that is
See
so
that?
cool.
Testers glow fuel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never used the testers. I used the Cox and I also used the K and B fuel. Oh, that
Yeah.
is such a cool that can
Now,
looks
It's a
is
brand
that
new
just a
can.
can?
No, it's full. It's
It's
brand new.
full. All right.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that at?
I just found it.
You just found it
Terrific.
in your garage
Yeah.
or what?
No, I just found it up here with my little box of goodies I had.
All right.
That is so cool. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever noticed, but Al Fierro has a lot of vintage fuel cans behind him sometimes. He
Yeah.
has like
Yeah.
Missile Mist, I think, fuel and Cox fuel. And it's
Mhm.
like, man, I've looked on eBay, but all the ones I've seen, they're kind of corroded. You know, they don't look nothing like the one you have there.
No,
And
looks
Lynn, did you
good.
see
it's in good
his fuel
shape. See
can?
the bottoms of it shiny and
Lynn, did
Yeah,
you
it's
see that,
great.
Lynn? He has some testers
I see
049
it.
fuel.
Wow.
yeah.
That's cool.
That
It's
is so cool,
the
man.
back of it where it says
That is
Very
super
neat.
cool.
says right on it, poison.
Please don't drink.
They're right.
Danger. Yeah.
You don't drink that stuff.
Shoot.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, I think I read it's even produced out in California, I thought.
That's where the testers
Don't
was
drink the
based,
cold
isn't it?
Okay, well, so I got it.
That is very
Hey.
cool, man. That is awesome. I wish I had something like that in my garage.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
A few years ago, I saw somebody was they had some battery sleeves from like old Rayovac and Everready, 1.5 volt NiCads. And they
Yeah.
had printed some sleeves and they had wrapped them around like their Globy, battery, rechargeable battery and stuff like that. And it looked right. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, Len, what's the verdict?
10.5 ounces.
Hey,
That's the
Holy
wing
mackerel.
with the wing with the flaps, all the control horns, and all the tails. 10.5 ounces.
So the
wow.
wing and the tail with all the connectings,
All the stuff. Yep.
that sounds
10 and a
pretty
half.
impressive. Yep,
I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you
I
should
guess
be.
so.
Yeah, the
I
wing
guess so.
itself with the flaps on it is 8.9
Mm-hmm. With flaps. That's good. That's a
with
heck of
the
a weight.
flaps. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
excited about this one.
Do you cover the wings and tails before you install them in the fuselage, or do you wait?
No, but I do make sure that I wrap the center section with glass cloth and glass.
Yeah.
I glass it first.
Yeah.
And on the big airplane, I put ellipses out onto the wing on top
Mhm.
and bottom. Like I don't take any chances of anything folding. I can't afford it. I don't want
I
an
hate when
airplane
that
that's going to
happens.
fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it causes a problem. But no, I don't cover. And I'll tell you why I don't cover first. I don't like gluing the wing to tissue.
Right.
When I glue the wing into the airplane, I want wood to wood joints. I don't want wood to tissue joints ever.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't want anything on that wood between those two joints except wood. So
What
when I
about the
epoxy it in, it's never
fiberglass
going anywhere.
ellipses? What about the
Well,
fiberglass ellipses?
what about them?
Aren't you
Well,
gluing
you're
the?
worried about the gluing.
Well,
The
but
glue.
that's glue to glue though. I'm gluing glue like epoxy to epoxy.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
okay with that.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
mind that. I don't like gluing epoxy to tissue because I'm always afraid that the tissue isn't stuck well enough to the wing. You can't really tell how well it's bonded, and I don't want to chance that because I don't want it to crack or. I mean, I know I'm going to use super fill fillets and stuff like that after, but even still, I like to know that those joints are good. And I find the
Well,
ellipses and the wrapping of the center section with fiberglass is more than enough strength,
yeah.
even with the foam wing.
You can
No,
you
no.
can go old school on that. Glue the wing to the fuselage with embroid or Sigment. That's like a cellulose based cement, so it'll be like of one mind all the way down to the wood. Then,
Yeah.
No,
Wood to
I
wood
won't.
for real.
No,
yeah,
I
you're not
won't.
you're not buying. You ain't buying what I'm selling, are
I'm
you?
not buying. You're not selling me any of that.
Ah,
If I ever find any Ambroid tubes, I'll send them your way.
I try to do one embroid glue joint every airplane just for the aroma, just for the smell of
The
gluing it,
smell.
and
Well, I'll just open the
that's
tube
it.
and
But
smell it.
yeah, I don't really like using it anymore or anything like that.
No.
But I do like
You,
I do like the memories it brings back. Let's put it that
you know
way.
what's funny is I used Ambroid on my very first big airplane. I used it to, I had a Goldberg Cosmic Wind, and I
Uh-huh.
used it on the glass cloth to do the hinges for the elevators. And that's the only airplane I have ever used Ambroid on was that very first airplane.
Isn't that amazing?
They held up fine. They were fine. There was no problem or anything like that, but I never used it again.
Yep.
After that, I got used to using Tight Bond and I was a happy boy.
Yeah. Nothing wrong
And
with
my
that.
mother wasn't ready to throw me out of the house that way either.
Yeah. That kind of makes a difference too, don't it? So
Yeah.
Let me give you a testimony. I was there when Bob Whiteley crashed his Formula S. And
Right.
when I was examining the carnage, I saw the glue joint of the fuselage to the wing, and that was ambroid. It didn't break there. It didn't separate there. It separated beyond the ambroid.
okay.
And then this is a crash on asphalt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the pilot's head was rolling on the asphalt. And I found
Well,
the
you should have
pilot's,
used embroid there too.
he should have. Yeah, I felt bad. I found the pilot's head. I was like, I'm so sorry to present this to you, but here's
Mhm.
the pilot's
So,
head.
so it killed him right off,
Taking
did
them home.
it? It killed him
Yeah.
Taking
instantly.
them home,
It
Charles, and
killed the
giving them a
pilot
proper
instantly.
funeral.
It killed. Very good, Gary. Yeah, instant death. Pilot died instantly.
Charles, I'd have taken that pilot home and given him a proper funeral.
Yeah, it was a pretty sharp pilot. That's why I gave it back to him. Plus, he's a friend. I didn't want to
Right.
take anything from him.
Yeah, I'm only kidding.
But yeah, that was
Oh
pretty.
man,
I was really impressed with Android because I was suspect of Android, but that really convinced me. I mean, when that wing sheared off, the fuselage, it was outside the Android glue. So I'm a believer in Android. It's really strong enough, I should
Yeah,
say.
it can be.
Do they
You know,
still
like
make
all the old kits said, make sure you double glue all those high stress joints, right?
do they still make Android
Um,
or whatever it is you're talking about? I've never heard of it.
Oh, you
I
can't
don't
find
think
it.
it's made
There's a
anymore.
similar product. Was that is it?
Segment.
Well, I was
Sig
thinking
is it
had their
Tuco
or
brand
or
Onto?
called Sigment, and then Pactra, makers of Aerogloss, they had a few different ones. Testers had a slow, a fast, and an extra fast. And I've never used it, but I understand that Duco cement is a
yeah,
lot like
Duco
Duco,
is
it,
what I
or
was thinking of.
Duco.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand the Duco is really good, but I've never used it. I don't think I've ever even seen it on a store shelf. But
Yoo-hoo Heart still exists.
yes, if you like your glues imported, Yoo-Hoo Heart is great. So
Recommended by one of the Hunts, either Bob or Robbie. I thought it was Bob, but he thinks it's Robbie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me welcome Carl Reed. Hey, Carl, thanks for coming in. And let me see here. John Miller is making his way in here.
Yeah.
And here's a comment on the chat box. Is he frozen or is he moving? I don't see him moving. You might have a poor connection there, Carl. Your bandwidth might be questionable. Anyways, here's a comment in the chat box. Truth or die? Is Friday still there? It's already Saturday in my area, and I'm from the future. Thank you very much.
Oh man.
So I wonder. So
Sounds
is
like
it?
one of Jonathan's friends or something
I
like
don't know.
that.
I was thinking probably someone. Is it Saturday in New Zealand or Indonesia?
No, it might be a little farther. What direction? A little farther west than that. But
I imagine there's some places already Saturday. I would imagine.
yeah, it is the international date line somewhere in the Pacific there.
What type of glues do you use, Charles?
I mostly use epoxy and I use a CA. I have used some white glue from time to time, depending upon, as far as being sensitive to time. If it's not a time constraint, I'll use white glue or type bond. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing for me. I use pretty much exclusively epoxy and CA, and then if I have the time and I'm not in a rush, I might glue ribs in or something with the tight bond or something like that.
Yeah. That's how I do it.
I never sheet with white glue anymore, though. I used to always do my sheeting with white glue and pin it all and fiddle around with it.
Right.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I never
Okay.
do that. All CA. I only use CA when I'm sheeting a wing.
Yep. And let me see here. I guess Howard
This is my
stepped
new
away.
build.
What was that
Gotta
again,
have it
Stuart?
done. I have it done for Christmas.
What are we looking at?
You go.
It's a
I
silhouette
said,
of.
this is my new build. I gotta have it done for Christmas.
Very good.
Well, get your round end scissors so they're not sharp and you can't stab yourself if you run with them or something. Don't run with scissors.
Oh
And,
yeah.
it'll look just like that when you're done, huh?
Oh, very good. Make it big
That's
there.
what I'm looking for.
There we go.
Very
It looks like
cool.
a snowbird.
Son that I
A
gotta
snowbird
get.
indeed.
I couldn't buy one,
Awesome.
so I gotta make one.
That is so cool, Dennis.
Yeah, it is. I got a few of them. The Chinese people that Brodak does business with, they sent a bunch of these over. They sent some to me directly. So I hoard them. So
It's a
You know what?
Canadian.
I've actually thought about building a snowbird like that, and
yeah,
but not with the raised tail. Keep bringing the
exactly.
tail down. Exactly.
Exactly. You build the complete airframe. All the outlines are good on it. You put nice jet pods on it and
Exactly.
stuff. Just bring the stab down to the bottom, and I
Be
don't think
awesome.
you'd lose an awful lot in the translation.
No,
But,
I don't think so either.
anyhow, yeah, I gotta find. I got a 3 view here someplace. Let's see if I can find it. But anyhow, keep talking. Keep talking.
Keep talking.
I was watching a video just now before we started here, and it was an airplane that the wings kind of went down.
Okay.
Yeah, Drew.
Tomorrow, this odd
It
right
drooped a
hand
little bit.
Like a Crusader.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. It's kind of
Was
like
it a control line plane?
Crusader,
Yeah,
Corsair 2.
yeah.
Oh, that was maybe Vic Macalusso's Crusader. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
He used an
Okay.
SV11 and then he modified it.
mhm.
It's pretty cool to complain.
Yeah, Lou Wolgas built the duplicate here recently for VSC and stuff like that. It really looks good. So and
Yeah,
Corsair 2.
yeah.
Oh, that was maybe Vic Macalusso's.
Yes, his design.
Well,
We got
Winley
a-
was there
We got a
narrating.
loop going on. All right. Hopefully we're not be looping.
Well, let's see.
Don't mute yourself, Danny. We need to hear your voice. Always
Thought I
looking for
was doing
something.
you guys a favor by shutting up for a while. So.
Oh no, no. It got quiet. It became crickets in
And
here. Just heard
Well, that
crickets.
sound you may have been hurting what may have been the gears in the old Smith Corona or something like that. So
So right now we have 22 views and 11 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, please smash that like button. That helps the analytics of the show. And we have 0 chat revenue. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please hit that super chat button, or you can join our YouTube channel with I think the bottom tier is $4.99 a month, and it goes up. There's 2 more tiers above that. And I do that, so I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not doing myself. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account, and it's worthwhile. We have people in here who have 60, 70 years experience. We have people that can help you with your flying questions or building questions. Really worthwhile. Plus, you have access. Are you supporting Sparky when he does these builds? And Sparky is building one plane after another. He's just continually just amazed me. As soon as he finished one, he's already starting on another. Seen him do that for years. It's amazing. So I mean, it's a great deal. It's a great value.
yeah, I was wondering if he was going to join us tonight, but he did a live show that ended just before you came on the air, and built 3 Vipers. I told him I was going to name my next airplane Anti-Venom. So
It's like,
Very good. Very
too many
good.
snakes out there.
it's anti-venom.
I saw that.
Very good.
You know, Charles, you were saying about people having 50, 40, and 50 years experience. Some of us just have 30 or 40 years of tragedies.
Hopefully you learn so
You know?
then you can pass it on to us.
Yeah, exactly. We have stuff to pass on, but boy,
We can tell you how not to do it.
We have a mixture. We have a mixture of experience and object lessons. All right. So
That's right. That's exactly it.
if you can't,
Oh my
we got
gosh.
role models and object lessons. All right. So
You know it, Dennis.
You know what? You just
Rules and
made me
object
think of something,
lessons.
Dennis. We could actually do a segment on what not to do.
oh, geez.
Exactly.
And I can tell you, I'll start off with what not to do. If you have a profile plane and you break the stab, so you have the stab in 2 pieces, do not
Right.
put it back together thinking it's going to hold. You need to build a whole new stab. So that will not work. And don't
Good
ask me
point.
how I know that.
You just know.
I'll bet it
had-
broke. I bet the second break was more dramatic or more exciting than the first break too.
First one.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember, that was not a good idea. Next time I know it, and make a whole new stab and then put it back in the
That's
profile.
right.
Brand new. Anybody
you
else
We can
have
run with this for a while.
But you just
Oh,
put
remember
metal
when,
spaces on each side.
Bob Hunt was here. What was it? just a week or so ago. And he was talking about all of these people who had destroyed their airplanes, like just before the Nats or at the Nats or something like that, put them back together and got their flights in and won the contest.
And won the contest.
I called him earlier this week. And we were talking about this and that. He brought up a couple of names. I said, "Oh yeah, that guy. He destroyed his airplane at the Nats too, didn't he?" Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You know, says we ought. I suggested to him that he write up an article maybe for the new stunt news or something like that on the occurrences where that's happened. You know, you could name at least a half a dozen or so. And I don't know. I think there's a lesson in there somewhere about perseverance or something like that, or don't let the Joneses get you down anyway. But
Well, Gary, you were saying something about putting some steel. What was you saying?
Yeah, I put aluminum, I think, when my anyway, the fuselage broke in the middle on either side and put screws in it or bolts in it. So it wouldn't come apart anymore that way. But
all right.
And then what I used to do is took like your tester cement, and I'd put glue on either side of all the ribs and everything to strengthen it.
Right.
You guys never did that in the beginning?
Oh no, I've kind of double glued some things to make sure that really high stress areas, I would put some more glue on those really high stress areas.
Yeah, I think the double gluing was important on, like, say, the end of a rib where there's end grain. And if you put just a dab of glue on there, it would tend to just get sucked up into the balsa and stuff. But if you like double glued it, you put like, you know, wiped a coat of glue on and let it dry. It kind of filled up the end grain, so you would get a better joint, you know, your final joint would be better. So, but
let me
I
welcome
got out of the habit of using that stuff fairly early on. Used to use a lot of epoxy, and I kind of backed off from that. Now I'm using mostly Titebond, epoxy in a few places. Probably Titebond first, CA second, and epoxy is the distant third. So.
Hey, Charles.
Yes, Stuart.
Yeah, this super chat. I brought this this up, and I clicked on it, and then it shows my name, and then it says your amount message you want to public. Like, how do you pay for it?
It didn't prompt you to
it will prompt you for a credit card number or a eBay or PayPal account or something like that. I think I'm paying mine out of PayPal.
Do I have to put it in the it says your amount and the message you will be public? Do you put it in there, or it just says
no? That the messages are separate from the super chats and the memberships.
Okay, I don't see
just
how
by being on YouTube, just being a member of YouTube allows you to make comments on our ongoing.
I did it once before in the spring, but I didn't can't figure out.
What did you click on? Did you click on the $sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, $sign's a super chat, so that should be just about making a donation.
Yeah, and I don't know how to make the donation.
It should come up and tell you.
Well, yeah, there's nothing here. It's like I said, it brings up my name, and it says $2 beside it, but I don't understand what they're doing here.
So are you on YouTube? You're on another window?
Yeah.
Okay. Another tab.
Can you do it through the live Stunt Hangar that we do?
Yeah, you just need to have it up, maybe just mute it so it doesn't cause any feedback.
No, but could I do it on the regular Stunt Hangar live? Or do you have to go to YouTube? You have to go to YouTube.
Yeah, you can do it on the Stunt Hangar live, which is YouTube.
Well, you can do it in the Stunt Hangar forum. Sparky does have a link there for making contributions directly to Stunt Hangar. That's not YouTube, that's directly to him. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'll see if I can figure this out. But
all right.
Okay.
Let me welcome Paul Taylor. Hey, Paul, thanks for coming in.
Hey, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Yeah. Are you wearing fancy pants tonight, Paul?
Sorry?
Are you wearing fancy pants tonight? Or
I thought you might pick up on that.
yeah, you think? Yeah, it was first.
Yeah.
Winter where he's at.
I
Yeah.
got a kick out of that. Paul asked me to had some comment or asked me to comment on the fancy pants I built a few years ago, and it was a fun airplane to fly and stuff like that. I ended up selling it to somebody who's a beginner class. He might be intermediate now. He's pretty close, but at any rate,
Yeah, it
he
looked
likes
like
flying airplane. So.
yeah, it looked like a neat plane, and sounded like you started to build one at one time and never finished it. So you
Yeah,
got the
I did that when I was about 12 years old, and then and that one wasn't electric. Uh, that was before they invented electricity. And
Yeah.
then the second one, of course, was the Brodak kit that I did for I've been meaning to post it. I can send you the assembly manual for the conversion kit for it if you want to see that.
Oh, you can
Pretty
just put it on the
straightforward
thread.
build.
Yeah, I just thought it looked like a fun plane, and I was just kind of
Mhm.
curious if you still had it and what the rest of the story was on it.
No, that's about it. I flew it for a while. I got some trophies with it, and flying it in classic at the Nats was probably not a high percentage maneuver, shall we say? But
Yeah.
I got my flights in. I did actually. I was happy enough with it. I had thought about trying to sell John on the idea of the fancy pants blown up to use a Oriental wing. All right. So it'd be like a full
Ah,
size airplane, but it would look like a fancy pants. All right. And should fly, Orientals are pretty good flying airplanes. And
for
Yeah.
sure.
so,
I thought it
Cool
was
idea.
interesting where you put the timer at on, right above the motor.
yeah. Well, there wasn't a lot of other places for it. That's the problem with airplanes like that, or I do a lot of conversions on old timers and stuff. They are kind of a minimum size there. You take up an awful lot of room with the battery, and there isn't a lot left for other things. So later
Yeah.
on, a friend of mine used to do this. He used to put the timer board in the cockpit, at the floor of the cockpit, and I always
Well,
thought that was kind of
that
cool.
wouldn't be a bad idea. And I mean, especially when you, um, I don't know. I'm sure there's other people that are doing, timers now and stuff, but that one that the guy in Canada is doing is all done Bluetooth. So,
Hmm.
there's no reason why you can't bury it in the plane.
Well, you get as long as you have accessibility to adjust it, and these were the original Huben timers with the on off switch right on the board and everything like that. Well, they were easy to see, and your mechanic could take a look at it and find it too and stuff like that if you needed to turn the motor off or something. But,
Yeah. I'm finding that, there's just not a whole lot of room for all the stuff, even in like a Vector 40. So,
you think?
yeah.
You just, I keep waiting. I built enough electric airplanes now that I should be better at these installations than I.
Oh.
But every one of them
Yeah.
seems to be a completely unique experience. So
Yeah. I would like to see how you did that hatch, though. If you can, if you got some pictures on how you did that battery hatch on the top, I thought that was pretty clean.
yeah, it just had a magnet in the back surface and a magnet in the front of the top block surface, right? The fixed surface behind it. So
Okay.
the surfaces just came down. The magnets were like that, and you put the hatch in place, it would just pull against each other. Not a very effective way for utilizing the magnetic force ultimately, but it would have been better to have it flat on the surface, so it's a stronger attraction that way.
Yeah.
But it sort of worked. So what can I say?
I wanted to ask Paul, you've been doing any flying? I mean, you're in Florida, so you probably could fly like I can fly out here in California, right?
Yeah, we've had some pretty good winds. I don't know. Somebody left the refrigerator door open. The temperature dropped. It got down in the 50s, and that's pretty cold. And
Okay.
Land,
but tomorrow we're supposed to have some good flying
Really?
weather.
land, yeah,
Really?
yeah. This what? Yeah.
I'm
Down to the layer up, Paul. Layer up. All right. Jeez.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well,
oh my
this is my
God.
winter. Yeah, this is my winter gear. I got my long sleeves on.
Ah, geez.
But yeah, we're gonna get out tomorrow. I won't be on here long tonight. I'm gonna get up early in the morning and meet up with Dick Carvel and his son, and we're,
Ah,
we're
terrific.
gonna piddle with that climb and dive timer. I'm interested to see how it's gonna play.
How's that SV11 working
Sure.
out?
Well, so I don't know how I missed this, but I got I got my bricks. My bricks came in from Thunder Power,
All right.
and Dick asked me. He said, Did you break them in?" And I said, "I didn't know you were supposed to do that." He said, "Thunder Power recommends you breaking in the battery." So I started doing some research, and uh, yeah, so it sounds like you get a little bit more life out of the battery if you cycle them, 3 or 4 times before you actually stress them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
my batteries aren't broken in yet. I was planning on flying it tomorrow as well, but they're sitting on the bench, and I ordered some dischargers off of Amazon. They'll be here Christmas Eve, so hopefully I'll have my batteries broken in the next week.
All right.
Prop is that, Paul?
Pardon me?
What prop is that
Yeah, it's a pretty prop.
that you've got in your hand?
Oh,
What
kind of
it's,
prop is that?
It's one of Wendy's. It's my fidget
Oh, I
spinner.
thought so.
Yeah.
Funny how I picked up on that, eh?
Well,
I
actually,
knew exactly
it's,
what it was.
actually, it's probably the prop that came off of your plane.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it's a Testarossa or it's a Ferrari prop. It's probably a Rev.
Yeah,
Is it a 13
yeah.
or is it a 14 or a 15?
Uh, this is a 14.
Yeah, so it's a 75 prop. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So
He
that must
wrote
have come off
this.
the Testarossa.
Yeah, he's
I
got
knew when I
something on
saw
here.
the
He said,
Ferrari logos.
"Well, I just use
I
it
knew.
as a fidget spinner."
Oh, okay. I saw I could see the Ferrari logos and I'm thinking, I know where he got that. He got that when he got the Testarossa. Because I got all the bigger ones, the 15 and 16-inch ones. So as soon as I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute, I know what he's holding on to. That's a
Mm-hmm.
Testarossa
That's
prop.
Yeah, I don't. He's got something written on here. I don't know what it says. 90 slow and something else. It's kind of faded out.
very nice looking prop.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's my fidget spinner.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I sit here and play with it.
Hey, Paul, don't forget builder of the prop rule.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking names.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. I forgot how much I enjoy stripping a wing and a horizontal stab from an airplane and getting the monocoat off it. What a joy.
Kind of
I
fun.
guess. The
Yeah,
most fun you can have with your clothes on. So.
yeah, I decided to build a new fuselage for the Pathfinder. It had twisted in the back. It's a solid half-inch piece. And I said, I'm just going to build a new fuselage. And a buddy of mine, Tom Smeltzer, had a nice outline for one, a little smoother than maybe the original. But trying to work around the hinges and getting that covering off is an ordeal, as a lot of you know, because I'm trying to use the same hinges. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It's good to be down there and working and cursing again. And I can't do that with a Pampa meeting, but at least, I'm in the basement. I can.
So you're removing
hey.
monocoat? Is that what? Do I understand
Ultra
correctly?
coat. Ultra coat.
Removing the ultra coat off of. Okay.
Yeah. That's the time it sticks better than you'd ever imagine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How partial are you to the flaps?
I'm sorry?
How partial are you to the flaps? Sometimes when I have a wing where I can't get it out of the hinge lines,
Yeah.
what I do is I cut the flaps apart and leave the hinges mounted to the wing. but and then get the flaps off of the hinges all the way along on both sides. And then after I've cleaned up the wing completely, I just put two new flaps on it. See
Oh,
what I
I
mean? Just
see.
slide them onto the control line and onto the onto the control horn and onto the hinges.
Yeah. That might
Because
be.
it's so hard to do the hinge like in between. Yeah, like trying to get it all out just takes
Oh,
forever.
oh my God. Looks like the
For me,
surface.
it's worth it just to cut two new flaps. It's like,
Yeah.
2 sheets of balsa wood and you're done.
Yeah, it looks like the surface of the moon. I expect to see a little Neil, whatever his name was, who landed on the moon.
Yeah.
But
Neil Armstrong.
and the reason I'm doing that, I just want like a late winter airplane that I'm not worried about.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
about 8 years old, and I've had a lot of flights on it, so it'll be fun.
You know what I've done, Mark, is on the bottom side of the flap, I'll take a new hinge, lay it against it, so I know approximately how far to cut back. And I basically will on the bottom side where you can't see, I cut where the hinge is, and I just pry it apart. I just lift it off the hinge. And so what happens is I just put a new piece of wood. When I reglue the hinges back in, I just put a new piece of wood and fill in the cut marks. You can't even
Yeah.
see it. And it's on the bottom of the plane, so even if you don't do the best job, no one really sees it.
Yeah.
So
Other option.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the options right now. I'm just not happy with it because there's some gouging and Ultra Coat. I don't know if Monocoat's is bad, but Ultra Coat, which I love, just eats up surgical blades. It
yeah,
just makes them dull so quickly.
right.
But I'll
It
get there.
does.
I'll get
Are
there.
you using any heat or anything like that to loosen it, or are you just trying to peel it directly, or how you doing
No,
that?
Dennis, that's funny. I have a heat gun, and this is the transparent
Right.
Ultra Coat, and it's just brutal. It just won't come up.
So
I
even
mean, I
with
got that gun at a quarter inch to it with the
Mm,
tip on, and it won't bring it up.
Yeah, we
yeah.
lost John Skukulek. I wonder what happened with John. I was gonna get him next. I must have lost
Yeah,
him.
he was here a second ago.
Yeah, we lost him. So I don't know what happened. Um. Anyways, hey Carl, I didn't get a chance to say hi to you. How do you, Carl? How you doing?
Good, good, thank you. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry
You too,
Christmas.
Carl.
Hey, Mark, I was redoing the plane too using that transparent ultra coat, and I ended up just sanding it off with some fine sandpaper. That seemed to work best for me to get the old stuff off.
Yep, that's true. That's another option. Um, yeah. It's just so hard to get that adhesive to release sometimes, and you pretty much
It's a bugger.
just shear the material or maybe sometimes the top part of the covering comes off, but the adhesive stays behind, which the adhesive has the color.
What's made it much more difficult is that I like to cover the hinge pocket with the covering. So when I have the hinge pocket, I slide the hinge in there. And so now when he's trying to take this covering off, the hinge is fighting you because it's right against the covering.
Mhm.
But
Exactly.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, we will get
That's
there.
another thing too. If you take the flaps off and put new flaps on, it's easier to cover the new flaps.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
trying to cover flaps that are already attached to the back of the wing it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, out of respect
Can't
for
get
Mr.
down.
Delaney, I want to make it look real good again.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gordon. You had a comment or question, Gordon?
Have you started taking it off yet, Mark?
Taking the covering off,
Yeah.
it's all done.
Oh, you already took it off.
Yeah. But it has a lot of gouging, and I just have to decide how nice I want to make it.
Because when I use that film, I found if I use the iron with a sock and actually turn the iron up hot and make sure it makes contact with the film, it usually shrinks it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't do that. I was using a gun.
Yeah, I didn't have much luck when I used the heat gun,
Yeah.
but with the iron and the sock, for some reason, when you make contact with that solar film, it shrinks it.
Yeah. Well, Gordy, if it comes out lousy, I'll only fly late at night so no one sees me.
Well, just fly out here and I'll put you up for a couple nights and we'll do it over.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, buddy. I love the airplane. I have a lot of flights on it. Gordy, that's the one where I called my friend Tom because it was the first control line plane I built in 1,000 years. And I told him that it's really frustrating getting the controls to work with the tip weight box in the way. And he said, send me a picture, which I did. And he said, you know, some people put the tip weight box on the outboard wing. I said, oh, shit. So I took it out and I put it on the outboard wing. And then he said, send me a picture, which I did. And he said, some people put the tip weight box on the bottom of the outboard wing. So I cut it out for the second time and moved it for the third time.
Yeah,
So,
we had a friend here in Salt Lake
yeah,
put the tip weight box on the top,
yeah.
but he had it all covered, and so we just left it.
See, if there was an IQ test to be president of Pampa, I wouldn't be the president.
We were talking earlier about the mistakes we've all made.
Yeah, there's one. There's one for the books.
Yeah.
One of my favorites was the Nobler wing, my very first Nobler, and I was very nervous building it. And it was the Saturday morning, and I decided to glue the wing in. So what did I do? I glued it in upside down with the lead outs going the wrong way. And I just finished epoxying it, and I went out to get a peanut butter sandwich. And when I came back, the glue was all dry. So you know how my day went after that.
Oh man. I
So
know.
Oh my God.
is that when you learn to fly inverted?
I had a lot of lessons to learn that day. Oh man.
Oh, that is frustrating. Oh man, that
It
is.
was a
How old was
I
you?
was a I was 18 at the time.
Okay.
I was a very upset 18 that morning, I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you was a
Man.
lot younger, you might have been crying.
Well, I mean, it was probably about my third or fourth big airplane that I'd built. So I figured I had a pretty good grasp of what I was supposed to do. And I came back and I got my sandwich on my plate and I looked at it and I went, oh no. Oh no.
I bet. Now, was the
I
plane
just about
inverted when you glued it together? Did you glue it and get together inverted? Is that what the confusion was?
yeah, I don't, I'm sure it was. And I just didn't look at it. And I had the wing in upside down. So the push rod was at the bottom and the wing was the wrong direction. Everything was wrong. And there was no way to fix it other than to cut it out of the fuselage. Oh my God. That was hours. And I didn't know about heating the epoxy. I didn't know anything about that. So there I go with my X-Acto knife and I butchered it right out of the fuselage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, my first plane, we put the weight on the inside and had it come in on you every time. We wondered why was it doing that.
Yeah.
Boy.
Finally figured out
Yes,
what
we
we did.
Mhm.
I have a comment in here. I think this is an old comment, but it's by John Skukulak, who's a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you for your support, John. Appreciate it. He said, Merry Christmas, I believe. And then and John, we miss you. Right. If you can come back, please come back. I was gonna ask you what's been going on with you, and you're gone. So if you have to go, I understand. And then McBride001, who's also a member of our YouTube channel, and this is Ruben. He says, Christmas is coming soon. Wish everyone a happy holiday. Ruben McBride. Thank you, Ruben. Thank you for coming in. He's also a member of our YouTube channel, so thank you for your monthly financial support. Appreciate that very much. And John Miller, we don't see you. What's up with that?
Oh, I got a problem with bandwidth.
Okay.
It's telling me that my camera is being used by another program, and I don't know what it's. There's no other program running, but it's just doing what it wants to do.
Okay. Could be some tender. Something on tender. Anyways,
I got sound when I first came on. It didn't have any sound.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being here. I mean, that's great. And you can just you can still talk and contribute. You just probably won't be able to do any. I wonder if you can still do screen shares when you have your when your video's not enabled. You might still be able to do screen shares.
Might be able to.
Yeah.
Don't worry, John, you're
almost-
just too good looking for TV.
Yeah, especially with that brown hat. That brown hat that he has is awesome.
I'm almost done with my computer fixing all those files. I got to go through and check each file and make sure I'm saving the latest one. That's what takes so long. I think Denny could probably relate to what I'm saying.
I haven't been that deep in files like you're talking about. Hey, did you get your renewal notice from Draft Site?
Yeah, I did.
You gonna get it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm just I tried LibreCAD and it'll work, but it's not. It's a little frustrating because there's a bit of a it's a bit of a learning curve there to that one.
All right, Gordon has his Santa hat on also. All right.
Yeah, I saw.
Well, I got mine on.
You got yours on too, Santa?
You better.
Yeah, I got mine on. You just can't see it.
Okay.
For all the rest of us, we're just playing, but when you're wearing a hat, that's the real deal. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to be busy tomorrow night and tomorrow and Sunday. We'll be busy.
Busy.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Lynn. All right, Lynn's not gonna be outdone. Lynn's not gonna be outdone. All
Everybody's
right.
doing this. We'll do
All right.
it too. Okay, we're not. Here we go.
Here we go, Santa hat.
Keep
Well,
grinning
that's
like that.
weird to
If
match.
your skin was green, you'd look like the Grinch.
Yeah.
We're gonna do more of this though.
Yeah.
Very
If I
good.
do this,
Very
Grinch.
good. Yeah, that's like the Grinch. Very good. That looks like the Grinch.
The score seems to be 2-2. Two you guys have it on the left side of your head, and two you guys have it on the right side. So it's kind of like graduation. I don't know which side it's supposed to be on.
I don't know if what I'm graduating from, so or two.
There you go.
It's not
There you go.
So what's
There we go.
graduation.
oh yeah, John, your audio is not working very well also. And we got a super chat from Stuart. All right, Stuart Morris figured out. Stuart Morrison figured it out. $20. Thank you, Stuart. Appreciate it. And he says, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you
and
very much,
thanks.
Stuart. Hey, Stuart, so tell us, how did you do it? There are people who don't know how to do it.
I didn't realize you had to scroll up for one, but then I had to update my credit card. That was the problem too. Couldn't-
wait,
So it's all gone through, so we're good.
Good.
Thank you very much. All right, and you got a super sticker too, I think. You got that #1 sign there. All right.
Hey, Charles,
Yeah.
did you have a chance to talk to these guys about that balsa wood deal?
No, why don't you go? I did that text about 40 people,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
I didn't get to everybody either. I mean, I did some that weren't in the Stunt Hangar as well, but just people I know.
Okay.
And I didn't bother to send to you, Lynn. I thought that
No, that's okay. I just
go
want
ahead,
to let
Mark.
people know I don't have any affiliation with National Balsa except they always come to Triple Tree when we're there, and then I appreciate it and I buy their wood and I've liked it. Now I'm not a top 5 guy, but I don't like heavy wood. So they have a deal right now. It's 25 sheets of 36 by 3 by a 16th. 25 sheets of 3/32 and 25 sheets of 1/8. So it's 75 sheets of balsa wood for $116. And I don't know where you're going to find it better than that.
Let me share the screen here. If I can share this, I'll show everybody what it looks like, so you can see it. Let me see here. And zoom and let's see here. Share screen. All right. Can you guys see this?
There you go.
So it's for $119, you get 3-inch wide balsa wood sheet bundle, and you get 25 of 1 inch, 25 of 1/8, 25 of 1/16, and 25 of 3/32.
Oh,
I don't know. It just said model. It just said model builder weight. I don't know what that
Yep.
is.
I'm going to weigh it. It just came in today. It was only 3 days. I was really surprised I got it so quickly. They're in Massachusetts, so maybe it's a little quicker for me. You know, and you put on your note, make it as light as possible. And about a month ago, they had the Aero grade, which is their real light stuff. And I think that may have been 350 a sheet, something like that. So I didn't get, I got like 20 sheets. I said, that's enough. But when I saw this deal, I could probably use all those thicknesses, you know.
Mhm.
So I figured for the price, the real heavy ones, I'll either not use or use them where I need to. But I could pick up the box by myself, so that was a good sign.
Yeah, you didn't break your back picking it up. That's good.
Huh.
That's a very good sign.
So I'll let you know what the weights are.
All right, cool. That's great. That's great. All right, I'll stop sharing this now. That's National Balsa.
Yeah.
They're having this holiday supply where you get this bundle pack for $119.99. And it's I think normally it'd be like $170 if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Mark,
it's a good
is
Yeah.
that
sign.
an ongoing thing they have, or is it just a temporary?
They bundle their wood, but it's the first time I've seen the 3 dimensions put together.
Okay.
I didn't want 75 sheets of 1/16. So I took what they have, but there seemed to be some affiliation between them and that company in New Jersey that does hardware, nuts and bolts. I can't think of the name right now. But I like the people. They're very nice. They're very reasonable. And I found the wood to be decent. So it's probably lighter than what Sparky's talking about for his RC planes. But so I'll let you know.
Thank
And
you. Appreciate it.
shipping was very reasonable for what it is. It was like $12 maybe.
That is reasonable.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought I checked them out. I think they said if you order $125, shipping is free. So
That could
if you
be.
bought that bundle and then added a piece of, 1/2x3 or something like that
Yeah.
for your next
Yeah.
Pathfinder profile rebuild,
Yeah.
you might have got free shipping on it. So
Well, that's why I have a low IQ.
no, you just have a high tolerance for pain. That's all. That's why.
yeah, you're still doing this. You must have.
Yeah.
Just wanted you guys to know, and Charles was nice enough to
That's
let a whole
awesome.
bunch of people know.
Yes, thank you for letting me know. What does your shirt say? Ellis.
Oh, this is Helly's Over Delaware. It was an event. I was president of the Delaware RC Club several times, and they do Warbirds Over Delaware. And then a couple of years they had really nice turnout. I mean, a big turnout for Helly's. But I think it was the third year. The second year I was there, they had a kid from Brooklyn who was unbelievably skilled at flying 3D helicopters. I mean, it was an incredible to watch him. The only thing that concerned us was at the end of his routine, he'd fly it back into his tent. Now, these were big glow helicopters with carbon fiber blades. Well,
Wow.
the other shirt that I have says in memory of.
Yeah.
No, really. He took his dad out in Brooklyn, New York to show him what he did. And he did the same maneuver, and either he hit the wrong control or something went wrong and hit him in the neck, and it hit him up here, and he bled to death right in front of his father.
Oh no, how terrible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I wear it every once in a while to remind me, and He was, I think, maybe 19.
Oh, how terrible. Oh,
I've
man.
actually heard of that somehow. Yeah. Couldn't be.
Oh,
It's,
awful.
it's sad. Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to share a helicopter experience. I always park my race car in the garage, except when it was going to the races. And I come home from work and it's parked out in the driveway. What's my car doing outside? So I walk in the garage and my daughter's got a helicopter, didn't have all the controls that they have today. And she's hovering around in my garage with this helicopter. And I said, "What are you doing?" She says,
Oh my God.
She says, when it's outside, I don't know if it's me or the wind. So I come in the garage. So I knew if it was me or not making the wrong inputs. And now she flies helicopters unbelievably well.
I'll tell her to be careful.
Yeah. She kind of broke my heart because I tried to keep her in the control line. And she learned most of the stunt pattern in 2 weekends.
Wow.
Wow.
She was and computer smart. I mean, what do they call it? Photographic memory.
Yeah.
She's gifted. She could sit down and hear something on the piano and play it immediately.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's just an amazing young woman.
Yeah, she
Wow.
couldn't read music.
Wow.
Wow. Well, listen, I don't want to talk anymore, but I got to tell you one thing. This lady walks into her house with a duck in her arm, and she's holding the duck, and she looks at her husband, and she said, "This is the pig I was talking about." And the husband said, "That's not a pig, it's a duck." And she said, "I'm not talking to you."
Oh.
Oh,
funny.
I got one about ducks.
You missed
I
your
guess
Charles,
we're
can I
okay.
get-
They fly. We're okay.
Can we-
They
can we
fly.
get back to the
Go on.
woods for a second? Oh, I'm sorry. I interrupted.
I'm done.
Sorry.
I got one about ducks. Can you hear me good?
We hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. These 3 guys died and went up to heaven. And they got up there. St. Peter greeted them in heaven and welcomed them to heaven and told them they were welcome to go anywhere they wanted, do anything they wanted in there. It was all set up for them. But he said, watch out, because the boss, he loves ducks, and this place is full of ducks. And so whatever you do not want to step on a duck. Well, they said, well, why? What happens? He said, well, if you step on a duck, you get chained up for the rest of eternity with the ugliest, meanest, nastiest looking woman you've ever seen. So they went off on their way. And about a week or so, they all got back together. 2 of them sitting there, and they see George coming from off far, and he's chained up to this ugly, mean-looking, nasty old woman. And he yelled, "What'd you do?" He says, "Oh, man," he said, "I did it. I stepped on a duck." Well, he joins them. A week or so later, they come back. They get together again. This time, George and Fred are sitting there, and Jeff is coming down the road. And Jeff's chained up to this ugly, mean-looking, nasty old woman. He said, "You didn't." He says, "Yeah, I stepped on a duck." Well, the third time they got together, they're both sitting there chained up to their women, and they look down there, and here comes the last guy, and he's chained up to this woman, who happens to be the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. This woman is just the sweetest, best looking woman you ever imagined. And they say, "Frank, what did you do?" He said, "I didn't do nothing. She stepped on a duck."
On that high note, let me get to something that's a little more popular. Let's see.
Popular.
Remember last week? Okay, Mark was just talking about balsa and stuff like that. Remember a week or two ago we were talking about the possibility of introducing something like poplar wing sheeting. Okay. And got this from our good buddy Brent Williams, sent me a PM. He went looking for this. This is poplar veneer, 027 thick. It's a 2 foot by 8 foot piece for 35 bucks.
Right.
That'll do
Wow.
that'll do a complete wing plus have enough left over for another panel and everything like that. But apparently it's pretty doggone easy to come by and stuff like that, pretty cheap. And it would weigh head to head with 5-pound balsa, it weighs twice as much. Head to head with like 7-pound balsa, it's down to about 1.5 times as much. So it doesn't take long before it's, hey, we might be able to use this stuff. All right. And the other part of it that doesn't come through with this is that the poplar is such a closed grain wood and everything like that. It would take almost nothing to finish it. So you could end up on a finished airplane. This could end up being closer to to a balsa skin than might otherwise be apparent. So, but I just wanted to share that because we talked about it, a couple of weekends ago, and it looks like something worth trying. So,
do you know if they stock it or do you have to order it? Do you know?
I think it looks like you have to order it. It says, pick up at the store, delivery to, things like that. So
Okay.
I'm
That's
guessing
terrific.
you have to order it and they'll either deliver it or pick it up in the store. This happened to be Home Depot. This isn't even a serious woodworking shop or anything like that. You may have, other options in your area and stuff. So, but
That's
kudos to
great.
Brent for looking, for finding this right away and everything like
Right.
that.
So how thick is that again? As far as inches?
027, just under 1/32 thick.
Oh wow. So it's pretty thin.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And poplar is actually, well, we don't ask the wood to bend very tightly unless if you want to, you wrap it all the way around the leading edge, you might have to wet it or steam it or something like that to make it go that far. I don't know how good it would go, but it would certainly cover an airfoil. And if you had a balsa cap leading edge or something like that, you might be all right.
And you might get away with less ribs if you was making a wing, right? You could probably use less because it's strong.
I was thinking my initial thought is that you'd only use it on a foam wing, but realistically, I mean, I built some balsa wings with 1/32 skins, regular D-tube wings, and all I did is I put half ribs in, so I had a rib every inch basically under the sheeting. And certainly this stuff would be as good as 1/32 balsa. It's only a little bit thinner, so I could probably quite possible to put it over a built-up wing too, and use some of it to make suitable cap strips out of the same material and everything like that. So it's out there.
There you go.
That's very interesting. That's compelling.
Yeah, it's good enough to sacrifice a foam core on anyway, just to see how close you can get. So I don't know if the higher density of the wood and stuff, I don't know if that would actually let you core the wing a little thinner or something like that. Our good buddy with the who used to cut foam wings might have an answer on that. So okay.
Well, thank you very much. I have a little bit of feedback. This one guy, 7134 Silver, says it's a good deal. I think he's referring to the National Balsa.
Yeah.
He said it's about $1.60 a sheet. Please note that I made an order and I got a lot of heavy wood. Average weight just over 10 pounds. Wood is what I got. So yeah, that's the only apprehension. I did send out a lot of texts, and only a few guys responded, but their concern was the weight of the wood.
Right.
Did you guys get an email from Elliot Scott?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I didn't get one recently. I got one several months ago.
Yeah, I got one about a week ago.
I got one last week. He's got 5-pound wood he's selling.
Yeah, I've talked to people who have had really, really good luck ordering wood from Elliot, so I haven't ordered any myself.
Yeah, I picked up some wood from Elliot at Golden State Stunt Championships several years ago.
Okay.
And it's probably some of my best wood that I have.
Okay.
And
I had one more picture I wanted to share
Well,
here. Well,
that's that
preview.
plantation would.
So anyhow.
Go ahead and share. Ooh,
This
that's
is for
pretty.
Len.
Yeah.
This is the Canadair tutor that the snowbirds
All
aerobatic
right.
team
Yes.
flies.
Yes. Yes. That's
And
awesome.
let's see, you can't. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. It's a T-tail airplane. The stab was like right at the tip of the fin. That's a little unruly, but I think you could move the stab down to like the top of the fuselage and keep it the rest of the shape.
Exactly.
And I think it
I think
would
it'd be
work just
perfect.
fine. I think it would look just fine. But it's a you could make a fairly accurate airplane without going
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, you
on
could
it.
make a thinner fuselage, which is
Right.
fine. You don't have to have that big fat fuselage. It would
Sure.
look just amazing.
You can put some jet pods out of the 1960s on
For
it, some
sure.
jet intakes and stuff. It'd
That
be a
would be
nice looking
awesome.
airplane. Yeah.
That's
You
nice.
betcha.
So
You know,
anyhow.
I bet I could make one of those out of the Pathfinder kit I've got downstairs.
Yeah.
Man, don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
Lenny, it's your airplane. Do
Don't
anything
you-
the hell you want to do with
You
it.
betcha.
So,
I might just do make a tutor Pathfinder.
mhm,
Oh, now you guys have got me going again. Stop.
that's it.
Don't you dare.
Hey, Sparky, thanks for coming in, Sparky.
See what's up.
Not too much. We got
Well,
super
Sparky, I
chat
was telling
from
them
Stuart.
about the name of my new airplane,
What is it?
Anti-Venom.
Oh,
The heck, there's going to be a whole nest of vipers out there. You
yeah.
have to protect themselves from it. So oh well.
Sparky,
Yeah.
how do you put your landing gear fairings on your landing gear with? Do you transfer between two pieces of balsa?
It's 3 pieces of balsa. I showed how I did it, but you make the wheel pant. Let me see here. I figure it out. You just design the wheel pant and you cut 3 all the same. And I tack glue it on there, and then draw some lines on the wire, and I cut that 1/8 inch out of that. Then I glue the front piece and the back piece onto one, so it's a sandwich. It's 3-piece sandwich together. Now this Viper here, it has a bend in the wire to keep it from turning on the wire. This one here, I just sanded it and glued it on there, and as long as nobody picks my airplane up by the wheel strut, it'll be fine.
mhm.
And you drill it out. Let me see here. I'll get this.
I do it the same way, Sparky. It works perfectly every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make mine just out of 2 pieces.
That's nice.
Harder to do it that way. You can do it, but it's a little harder. It's easy the way Sparky's got it there.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful.
So these 3 pieces are, how thick are they, Sparky?
1/8 inch.
1/8 inch.
You could do 1/8 and 16th if you wanted, but I just make
Yeah, you could.
all 3 1/8 inch. That way you can airfoil it.
Very nice.
Yes.
Quick, easy way of doing it. And what I do is I take my Dremel tool with a cutting disc and I rough up, like Sparky says he did it with sandpaper, but I take my cutting wheel and just rough it over the 1/8 inch wire to make it kind of rough and then put the epoxy to it. Works beautiful.
Well, as long as nobody grabs your airplane by the wheel skirt, you'll be all
Well,
fine.
yeah. Anybody
But
grabs my airplane by the landing gear fairings, they're going to hear it from me.
But my Vipers, this wire is bent, so it comes down this way and it jogs out 1/4 inch, jogs back 1/4 inch, and then goes straight. So it can't turn on there, even if you grabbed it by the.
Oh, I understand. I didn't understand what you meant the first
Mhm.
time, but now I understand. That's a great idea.
Yeah, on mine, I just put a groove on each half, lay some epoxy resin down and lay a piece of glass cloth and then cinch them together. And
Yeah, that'd work too.
yeah,
Cool.
I sand the wire, and I've never had one break loose. And one airplane I dorked at least 4 times. I finally cracked one, but they still haven't come loose.
Awesome.
I had an airplane that wouldn't turn insides. And you don't know how well. I know at least 4 times I dorked it on the bottom of the hourglass. I
I had
finally,
an airplane like that.
I finally found the problem.
What was it?
Had a little negative in the stab.
Uh-huh.
Well, I should say, and I was misinformed. I won't mention any names, so I cut it loose and put more down in it because they said I had positive. Well, when I finally figured out the problem, it was a flat stab, so I put a level on it and cut it loose for the third time and raised it 3/32 on the leading edge. And as soon as the plane took off, I knew it was fixed.
Nice.
Yeah, Dave Fitzgerald was out 2 days in a row with me. He had a layover. So we went up flying. I dorked it, and he said, okay, no more of that. I dorked it again, all on the hourglass. So we went back, and I said, I don't know. So we cut all the sheeting off, or the covering off the stab, covered it in Monaco, went back out the next day, dorked it again. And lo and behold, I finally figured it out.
What was it?
The stab
Alignment.
had negative, not positive.
Oh, okay. All right.
Here's one for you, Gordon, talking about, I don't know what the problem with it is, but I had an airplane. I took it to Brodax, and it kept hunting. So I kept adding, drooping the elevators some more, and it would kept continually getting worse and worse and worse. Joe Gilbert says, what's going on with that airplane? I said, I keep drooping the elevators, and it's getting worse. He says, well, let's droop them up. Let's turn them up. You know what? That fixed it. What do you think that was?
The flaps not being aligned correctly.
No, they were. Flaps were straight.
Well, you may look at it and straight, but when you fly it, aerodynamics may contradict that. I've done that before and kept moving the stab, and finally went the other way like you did and straightened the airplane right out.
This is weird.
And I thought it's because it was an elevator issue, but it was actually a flap issue.
Huh. I never had that happen before. Joe figured it out pretty quick.
He's pretty smart.
He is. He figured one of mine out at Brodax too one year. It wasn't flying worth a damn, and he knew exactly what to do.
Yep.
Bernie, did you have a campfire?
No, I just took it home and did what he told me to do, and it flew fine after that.
Oh,
And it was the same thing. Mine was it was just an alignment issue. It had when it was flying in level flight, it was always flying nose up. It was weird.
That's what mine was doing when it wouldn't turn insides. As soon as I raised the stab up a little bit, the airplane flew level.
Flew beautiful. Exactly.
Yep. Same problem I had. My buddy kept telling me, well, give it to somebody. And I says, I've been doing this for 60 years. I should know how to fix it. So anyway, finally figured it out.
What you
Like
just
you,
said.
I don't like it. Go ahead.
What you just said there, Gordy, is the way that I feel sometimes. I've been doing this so long, I should be able to, but you just throw up your hand and say, I quit. And then somebody figure it out for you.
Yep, exactly.
I just have a
like
comment.
giving people bad airplanes either.
What was that again? You don't give people bad airplanes?
No, I don't like if an airplane isn't flying worth a damn, I hate to give it to somebody else because then I'm just giving a problem to somebody else, and I don't like doing that either.
That's nice of you. I appreciate that.
If it flies decent, I'll give it to somebody, but if it flies like crap, all I'm doing is making their day frustrating
Oh,
instead of
yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
I'd rather scrap the airplane or fix the airplane than give it to somebody when it doesn't fly.
Len gave you
Yeah.
all those problems.
Yeah, but when it flies good, you can't afford to give it to anybody. Yeah. That's why you got 100 airplanes in the garage. So
I'll ask Stuart. I gave him a pretty darn good flying one, and didn't
yeah,
I, Stuart? Maybe more than one.
yeah.
I'm going to refinish an airplane for the third time, the one that Charles flew.
Oh, that beautiful Junar.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Worth
refinish
it, that
that
one.
for the third time. Billy told me don't bother, but I'm going to do it one more time.
Wow, what color will be
awesome.
next?
I don't know. Whatever I can get the lightest.
Well, what's driving the third finish? Why are you gonna do that?
It's not a good finish. I mean, I did that in Dayton. You know,
Okay.
I pressed for time. You know, it's
Okay.
still flies great. It just doesn't look as good as it did when it was first finished. So I'll do it again.
Hmm.
Hey, John Miller, I don't mean to encourage you, but Marcel Legrand says, "Hi, John, just love that one."
You like that one, huh?
He liked that one. Marcel Legrand liked that one.
Damn.
Mhm.
All I gotta say with all the people I run with here in town that I've told that joke to, I'll just walk up and say, "Step on any ducks," and they all break out laughing.
Mhm. Yeah, on our theme of
Oh,
what not
step
to
on
do,
it.
does anybody else have any ideas on they want to share any bad experiences of what not to do as far as
Where do
model
you want to
aviation?
begin?
Yeah,
Where do you
land
want to
on the
begin?
fence rail.
What was that, Stuart? I didn't get that.
Land on a fence rail.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not,
it fell off, huh?
No, it came down on it.
I don't know. I think ultimately, the answer we're talking about here is don't give up. If it isn't flying right or something like that, sometimes it doesn't hurt to just set it aside and think a little bit, but don't give up on it. So, and that's doing as I say and not as I do. I've had a lot of airplanes that I built over the years that were okay, you know, but they weren't completely right. And then I just learned, I just lived with it and stuff like that. And then find myself going back thinking, gee, if I had that, I wish I had that one back. I'd like to try, A, B, or C, now that I've learned those things, and it probably would have made all the difference in the world. So that's how you learn about this stuff. Just do things. And, like, was it Sparky was just saying, if you try it one way and gosh, that should work. And if it's not getting better, if it's getting worse, that's a signal, man.
Yeah.
Try it the other way, man.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Is there kind of a general rule with setting your elevator and your aileron?
What,
Like
flaps, you mean?
percentage flies on each, or like with the when you basically for setting the degrees on it, like how many degrees compared to your elevator versus the aileron?
It all depends on how much the airplane weighs. If it's
Oh,
light, you can have more elevator than aileron.
I don't have ailerons. I have flaps.
Flaps, right? That
oh,
Yeah, Stuart started it.
You don't want ailerons.
would not be good.
I'm RC, sorry.
Yeah.
You just don't get a good grade for barrel rolls.
Sparky, you said if it's lighter, you get what's that again?
If you're flying a light airplane,
Right.
you can fly it more nose heavy and move the elevators faster than the flaps and get a better, I think, a better turn and a more directionally stable airplane in the wind. If it's slightly on the nose heavy side with quick elevators, if it's light. Now, if it's heavy, you're going to have 1-to-1, meaning whatever the flaps move, the elevator has to move, and you'll probably have to move the CG back.
You know, Sparky, I have never owned an airplane with 1-to-1 ratios ever.
Yeah, you building light enough then, huh?
Well, I've had some that weren't, I'd say, lightweights, but the closest I've ever been to 1-to-1 is about 6 degrees.
Yeah.
At our altitude, why a light one is a heavy one.
What was that, John?
I said at our altitude, you build it what would be light for most everybody else. That's kind of heavy for our thin atmosphere.
Yeah. No wonder I have to wear oxygen, huh? I wish somebody dig a hole about 3,000 feet. And you take an elevator down there to fly.
One tough airplane.
Well, I think that's why the Pathfinders fly really well around here. You know, the profiles, 640 squares, and most of them are under 50 ounces.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, anybody got any new projects in the build?
Pardon? You speak to me?
Anybody? Well, I'm still reverse engineering this fuselage. It's a SV11 electric fuselage.
Cool.
I'm planning to make one reverse engineer it, or reverse engineer it. So haven't made a whole lot of progress on it lately, but working on it. But not of lately. I've been so busy.
Has anybody
I was
seen?
telling the guy, go ahead.
Has anybody seen that guy from Australia that built the electric Pathfinder LE with battery? It was electric with battery and everything ready to fly. Weighs the same as mine.
Oh, yeah, that's Marcel Legrand.
The red one?
Well, he built a couple. I thought he built a twin, and he didn't he build a blue one? John Miller. Remember Marcel Legrand's Pathfinders?
Well, I know he built the twin, but I don't think this was him. This is a red one, covered in Monaco.
Well, that's the one from Brazil.
Oh, is that Brazil?
That's the one from, yeah, it's from Brazil.
Sorry about that.
Same place.
Sesquim.
Close enough. It's underneath there somewhere.
But I was quite surprised with the battery pack and everything weighed the same as mine, and I still have another 5 ounces of fuel to put to it.
That's
Was
not
this
that
wasn't-
unusual anymore. I think we're getting better and better building the electric airplanes and keeping them light enough and all that. So,
Well, he took off the pipe tunnel and took a lot of wood out of that underneath the wing because he wasn't going to be needing it or using it with an electric. So that was to his advantage.
well, that's it. You do a few things like that, and maybe add a really, exceptional kit and some good building talent and stuff like that. You can get there from here.
I got
And
a
actually,
question
if
for
you get it
Gordy.
light enough, you can use a smaller battery. That makes it lighter too. So,
Gordy, that
Yep.
Pathfinder is a straight wing, correct?
On the profile, yes.
Oh, but on the build.
The LE's got a different airfoil and tapered.
Okay, so but that profile with the straight wing flies good in the wind.
Awesome. Everybody say what do they call it? Hershey bar wing?
Yeah.
It flies exceptionally well.
Yeah,
I agree.
You wouldn't think it should be able to fly as well as it does on that wing, but it does.
Do you have to make it a tricycle gear?
No,
No,
the kit was set up so you could flip the gear from left to right and right to left and put a tail wheel in it. And if you wanted to use trike gear, you flip the back the other way and put a nose wheel on it. When that first came out, we had several people commenting how tail heavy the airplane was. And John Brodak called me and says, I got to put 4 ounces of lead on the front of that to get the nose wheel down. I says, you got to swap the landing gear. You got them in there backwards. No, I don't. Yeah, I says, yes, you do. Just swap them. About an hour later, I come back. Oh, you're right. I could take all the nose weight off it. It was designed. I think that was John Miller's idea. But we bent them so
Yeah.
it flip flopped them. One way they lean forward for a tail dragger, and the other way they kick back for a nose tricycle landing gear.
Yeah.
Because I got a set of plans, and I wouldn't mind building that, but I don't think I like trike landing gear.
Yeah, you can just flip. All I got to do is bend them the way it shows on the plan and just flip them around.
So you only have to cut 1 rib size, correct?
Yep.
So that means I could build it in a weekend.
Okay.
Yep.
The 4 center ribs are made out of 3/32 or 1/8 inch.
Okay. And the
And
rest are 16.
Probably don't have to do that because I think I went to an over and under bell crank mount.
Right.
And so you probably don't need to. I just do it from habit from old years, from years ago.
Right. I run compression spars and suspended bell crank. I don't like that crap with a bell crank mounted to a plywood floor.
Yeah.
So it's 1 rib. How many ribs is there?
I don't-
10, 20?
Well, probably close.
So you could stack sand them.
Oh, that's the way I do it.
So
Or you can order it from
yeah,
Eric Rule's old place, and they'll mail them, cut them out, laser cut them for you.
yeah,
Well, Eric Rule's gone.
And
but
Lynn
Rodak will sell-
Burrell has
Rodak
a
will sell
comment.
you a rib set. So
Lynn Burrell's been trying to get in a word. Go ahead, Lynn.
Just a quick comment. Sparky, if you don't want to use the trike gear, you can just put an aluminum mount on the side of the fuse and use it that way. You don't even have to put the gear in the wing.
yeah. I got
that'll
some.
save you
It's so much
special
easier than
ribs,
trying to
so.
put it in the wing. Just put it on the fuse. My buddy has his on the fuse. It works beautiful.
Yeah, but doesn't look.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
It looks nice. Perfect.
That's an ARF there.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes
You
it
can
so
buy a
much
rib
simpler
set
than trying to put them in the wing.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
if he's scratch building, I think they look better in the wing. Myself.
you,
Yep.
you
Don't
can
like
buy
that.
a rib set from Rodak.
Okay, well, I mean, if it's 1 rib and I can stack sand them, that takes about half an hour. I know I could build that in a weekend.
Do you like to mold your leading edge or not?
I can do it either way. It don't matter.
I know the kit isn't that way, but I mold my leading edge.
Yeah. So you don't use that square piece in the front?
No. And there's a set of ribs that uses an 1/8 inch by 1/4 that goes in horizontal.
Right, to hold it straight,
And that's just to get your ribs on.
right?
And if you instead of making 1.25 inches or 1/8 by 1/4, you make it 1/8 by 5/16. Then when you sheet it, you can just lay it on that leading edge, glue it down and roll it, wet it a little bit, roll it down to your ribs.
And then I think I'll mold the leading edge.
I like the molded leading edge.
It looks nicer. It doesn't take any time to do.
Yeah, my new one's the molded leading edge too.
I got a gift today specifically for stack sanding. I got a phone call. I got a good Christmas. I got a phone call from a guy and he said, I'm right by your house. I want to drop, I never met him before. I want to drop something off for you. I said, really? He said, yeah, Santa Claus comes early. He got me that.
Oh,
Nice.
that was nice.
I got to put the table on it, but it's a 12-inch disc sander, so that's perfect use for
Isn't that awesome?
stack sanded ribs.
Yep.
So Santa came early, he said. I said, cool.
Very nice.
That was.
It's awesome.
Is that the Harbor Freight one, you think?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's $200.
Very nice. Now my table kept I had to keep squaring it all the time. My table doesn't, it won't hold that degree.
You got one of them?
Yeah, I don't know if I think mine's green though.
Grizzly. Green one is a grizzly.
Yeah, I have a Roby.
Ryobi.
Yeah, I love it.
And
What
the other
about
one,
that big one you got out in the garage?
Oh,
The
that's too aggressive, John. You put a stacked ribs
I
on,
know, that's,
it'll be gone before you can get it pulled back away from it.
yep,
I had that one when I built my race car for sanding the steel parts with.
What do you got there, Stuart? I'm sorry I missed it the first time. Let me make you big here. We can't hear you. You gotta unmute yourself.
I want to get a timer for this, and I want to know if you can, with those timers, you have to program them through the computer, right?
no.
Not necessarily. Brodak has a whole bunch of them that are basically, you set them by turning little pots, use a Phillips screwdriver. You can set like the RPM and the flight duration and stuff like that just by, you program it with a Phillips screwdriver. So,
Okay. Well, if you do that, you program it that way, you don't hook it up to a computer then.
exactly.
So how do you know what you're going to get on your RPM, for example?
You use a tachometer.
Oh, okay. So you do it
It's
that way.
literally just like setting a needle valve. You got a tachometer on it. You put, you go to the RPM pot and you turn it until you get the setting that you want.
Right. Okay. One other thing is the ones that are programmable, are they only Microsoft or can you use Apple?
The ones that Will Human makes are programmable through his own box. You don't put them on a computer at all. You have to buy a little program box for it. It's about $75, but it'll let you program everything directly that way.
Okay. Are there some though that are I forget his name. He used to come on here. Some of them are programmed through the computer though, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm not sure that there are any that are programmed that way. Because even the Igors and Fiorettis and all that, they're programmed through a separate standalone box. The climb and dive timer, I guess you can program that off your cell phone. I don't have one of those. I've just read about it. But yeah, you can program it that way. And that's the only one I'm aware of that, that programs that way. But
Okay. I was just kind of curious on how that worked.
Hey, we got another super chat from Bill Bomer. And it shows $13.99. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
good
Merry
news, man.
Christmas.
Charles, it's the hats.
It must, well, the hats and just a month. I mean, because every show we've gotten like two individual super chats. Appreciate
That's
that.
fantastic. That's fantastic.
And look at Sparky. Sparky got his sander dropped off to his house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy, he had a plane he was going to sell or whatever on Kijiji or something once. This was actually an RC, but, and then he says, well, where do you live? And I said, well, I live here, this near Morpeth. And he goes, oh, I go by there. So he comes up to my door, knocks on the door, has the plane, says, there you go, it's free. That was pretty good. I thought
That is very good.
yeah.
Check your email, Charles.
Check my email. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Me do that. Wow. Thank you very much, Sparky. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
Awesome. Let me see here. I was going to tell you about a story, Stuart. I remember I had a friend who was moving, and he said, "Charles, come on by. I got something for you." And went to his house, and he had planes all over his house, and he had like a really beautiful, I think it was a Piper Cub RC plane, and I just gathered my thoughts as I wanted to show my gratitude and appreciation, but I did not at that time. I still don't have much interest in RC. I told him, man, I really, really appreciate this, but I'm really into control line. And his wife was like, her jaw dropped. She just could not believe it. This is a beautiful plane. And I said, well, maybe when I'm world champion one day, I might take up RC.
Yeah. Well, that'll be next week.
Yeah, right. Man, the rest of your life, you learn the pattern and you spend the rest of your life trying to perfect it.
Yeah, no kidding. At least I'm not crashing as much, so that's better.
Hey, John Miller, we actually see you now. But where's your hat?
I took it off.
He's
I
getting
went
hot.
in the other room. I got thinking about what I might do. Go ahead.
I was saying he's getting hot.
Oh, get it again. Yeah, hold on a minute.
Oh well, we had John for a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
I told him he needed to get his uniform on. So.
Okay.
Oh, look at you! All right. Make it big here. Look at that. All right.
Oh my God! If that doesn't get another super chat, I don't know what will. My
Yeah,
God.
His hangs so well too, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I got to hear
Eddie, you notice behind me? Notice behind me.
Let me make you big again.
There's
Sorry,
no
hang
mess
on.
in here.
Wow, look at that.
There's no mess in here.
Very good. I'm very
cleaned
impressed.
up.
Well, who are you, and what did you do to John Miller? So.
The question
is that part of your file cleanup? Did it also involve cleaning up the shop there, or your office, or whatever that is?
Sort of, kind of, yeah, a little bit. My stepdaughter came by last weekend, and we waded into this room, and by the time we got done, I could see the floor again, and I remembered I had a red carpet.
Wow, man, your stepdaughter is awesome.
Oh, she is. She is. She takes good care of me.
No kidding, boy.
But she doesn't live down there, does she, John?
No, she lives in Salt Lake. She comes down about once a month. Come down, spend down here. Like what we've been doing is there were still boxes. You all moved, and there's still boxes of stuff that had never been opened up since we moved down here 6-7 years ago. And a lot of it is her mother's stuff. So she's been taking one room at a time, going through and cleaning it up. And this last weekend was this room's turn.
Wow. Okay.
Now she wants to go in my shop, and I got to say, no, don't go in the shop. I know where everything is. It's a mess, but I know where everything is.
Yeah, that's right. I understand that. Well, that's wonderful. So let's see here. So Bill Bomer says, starting a Pathfinder in the new year, have a set of ribs rib plans and gear from Brodak, we'll have a Super Tiger 46.
Perfect.
Sounds like he's already a week ahead of Sparky. So
Yeah, but who do
Yeah.
you think will finish first?
Yeah, I know Sparky would probably pass him up.
So when's your due
I
date on?
think we should all build one.
Yeah, I could actually compete with that, but I have an arc.
When we first started flying Pathfinders, we had a contest, and we had like 5 or 6 Pathfinders in the lineup. You know, we had everybody around our area building Pathfinders.
I bet.
You were asking me about due date, Gordon?
On the one you're working on.
It'll be in white tomorrow.
Cool.
Hey, we got another super chat from Colin McCallum. Another $10. Thumbs up. Thank you very much, Colin. Appreciate that.
I think that one's directly caused by Santa Claus. So
Thank you. Appreciate that. That is awesome. I'm not gonna be doing a Christmas show. So Monday I'm not gonna be doing it. Maybe someone else can do it, but not gonna be doing a Christmas show on Monday.
I'll probably
that's
do it.
prudent.
I'll probably do it. 'Cause I'm
Okay.
gonna be on anyway.
That's right. And I heard he's building up until I came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I had another opportunity to pick on him that way. So
I try not to overlap your show. I try to be off at 8 o'clock.
yeah.
Let's see here. Well, I'm gonna end the stream in like 8 or 9 minutes. We're almost top of the hour.
All righty.
Sparky, on those wheel pants, I told you how I did it.
Yeah.
I forgot one. I always wrap them with silk after they're built.
Yeah.
I wrap them with silk.
I'm just gonna cover them with silk span, dope.
Yeah, that the way you do it is plenty strong.
Yeah, I have yet to have a problem with them. Unless somebody tries to pick up the airplane using my landing gear. And they're light. Everybody says, why don't you put some wheel pants on? And I love wheel pants, but a wheel, a wire, and a door are 1 ounce. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Usually for landing gear, it doesn't matter whether it's wire or carbon or aluminum, it's going to be 3 ounces. Just the way it is.
Yep.
So anything I can beat that, by that, so I'm only at 2 ounces. I saved 1 ounce.
Yeah, on my wing mounted gear, I kept making the torsion bar shorter and shorter and shorter just to save weight. So.
Regarding wind, I have a comment from Marcel Legrand. He says, I have flown my Pathfinder in 15 knots and it flew just awesome. That model is one of my favorite models, and that's why I have built 5 now.
Wow.
All right, Marcel Legrand, thank you for that.
I might modify.
That's more. That might be more than Gordy's built.
I might modify it a little bit, Gordon.
I built 3, and the last one I shouldn't have had to build, but it met a demise by.
Did you put decals on them?
Just on the one side, the teardrop.
Yeah.
A lot of people run it clear back over the wing, and I've seen several of those that cracked. And my teardrop that I make, I've never had one crack ever. On the cheek cowl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I try to run them over the wing and grab the leading edge like this one here. Grab the leading edge, but I don't know. You're not going to break this. That's a solid fuselage from all the way from the spinner back plate to the tail post. So it's a different type build. There's no hole cut out for the wing. Maybe I could build it in a beam wing.
Say what?
Maybe I could build it in a beam wing. A beam
Sure, why
wing
not?
Pathfinder.
Tim Meeks from California built several Pathfinders as I-beamers.
Really?
It's a neat idea.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
Tim Makes.
Yeah, Tim Meeks.
Didn't I give you the airplane?
Nope, you were going to get it and you didn't get it.
No, I got it, but I gave it to somebody.
You didn't give it to me.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an I-beam Pathfinder LE. Yeah, he let me put a couple flights on it when it was new.
LE, what does that stand for? Electric?
No,
No.
last edition.
Oh, last edition.
Last of the
Sure.
Pathfinders.
So that's a
Sure.
double tapered wing?
That's a tapered wing, tapered airfoil,
Uh-huh.
and a build-up body for a pipe.
What's the root and tip numbers?
On the LE,
Yeah.
oh, God. I think around 12 and a half at the root and 9.5 at the tip.
12 and a half. Wow, that's huge.
Well, I might be wrong on that.
My Vipers are 11 and a half. I mean, that's bigger than a USA 1 wing. 11 and a half is right at the USA 1 root.
I think Gordy was quoting numbers, including the flap.
Yes,
Oh,
that included the flaps. I always include the flaps.
okay. I'm gonna say, because 12 and a half plus 3 is 15 and a half. That's huge.
Yeah,
Ah, that's way too much.
yeah. No, it's not that big. It's only 650 squares.
Okay.
So more like 9.5 when you subtract the 3 for the flap at the root.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 58-inch wing.
Yeah, same with my Vipers. So it's a 50-inch beam, 4-inch tip. I might do that.
Yeah,
That'd be
mine are
pretty cool, Sparky.
3-inch tips.
I just usually make my beam, 4 or 8 inches less than the total. Because if you span a beam out any more than 50 inches, they flex.
Well, the Colossus is longer than that. It's a 60-inch wing.
Yeah, and how long is the beam?
You asked me. I built that 15 years ago.
How wide are the tips?
I don't know. I'd have to go down and measure it.
Uh,
I'll go down and measure it and come back.
okay.
You know, when you get old, you forget all that stuff.
Yeah.
CRS.
Forget what?
CRS.
What?
Oh,
What are we
Oh,
I
talking
know what
no.
that
about?
stands for. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Mm.
I can't remember stuff.
Planning stuff.
CRS, can't remember stuff.
What really bothers me
Right.
is when I set something down on the bench, I got it in my hand, I set it on the bench, I turn around to do something, I turn back to pick that same thing up, and it's gone. I mean, it's like it grew legs and walked away.
Yeah. Half hour later, you might find it.
I know exactly what you mean. At least 50% of my building time is finding stuff is looking for stuff that I set where I needed it, right?
Here's one for you. Now, my shop is pretty well a mess, but I know where most everything is unless I set it on the workbench.
Right.
And the minute that I put everything in its place, forget it. I can't find nothing. I got to get it all out and throw it in a box or something to find it.
And
Yeah, that's the way it works sometimes.
See, when I was working on motorcycles, I knew the day was over when all the tools were out of the box.
yeah, that's right.
You put it back together.
Very good. So I have a
think I'm gonna
comment
check out
from
on you guys. So
say it
was
again,
fun.
Denny.
I think I'm gonna check out
All right. Well,
right
thanks for
now.
coming in, and
You
Merry
too.
Christmas to you and your
Merry
family.
Christmas,
And
Dennis.
and Sparky, you say you're going to try to be here Monday night?
Yeah,
then?
yep.
Okay, no promises, but we'll see. All right.
All righty.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And Philip Bailey says, like delivered. Thank you, Philip. And then he goes on to say, Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you, Philip Bailey. And Marcel Legrand says, have a great Christmas, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you very much. And it's the top of the hour, basically. So I'm going to end the live stream. And I want to thank everybody for coming in and wish you fair winds and tight lines. I won't be here, but Spark will be here Monday, Christmas, probably all through the day, probably and into the evening building. So until then, fair winds, tight lines,